You're not reacting to reality, you're reacting to a filtered version of what reality means to you. And after I explain this, I will show you an exercise how you can change a bad memory. So listen up. So how can it be that two people react completely differently to the same event? One of them goes into a room and thinks it's possibility, thinks it's really empowering, thinks that he can do things, and the other person thinks that, oh, it's a little bit restrictive, I don't know what to do, I feel overwhelmed, I don't know what's going on. How can that be? That is partly experiences, but also the representation that we bring with ourselves into any situation. Our beliefs, our values, what we live according to, what we aim at. If you feel unstoppable, if you feel like, oh my God, I need to get it, I need this, you feel empowered, you're gonna go and grab it. But if for some reason there is something like a limiting belief in the way and you feel like you cannot really have it, you don't deserve it, you're actually going to be shying away from getting that. And the result is going to be completely different. Same event, completely different reactions. And why is that? Because of our internal maps. For example, one of mine has been that when there is silence, I did something wrong. So if someone wouldn't be talking to me, if someone just doesn't want to talk, I would interpret it as I did something wrong. And because of that, I start to make up for things. And I start to people please, I start to do things that I wouldn't do otherwise. I start doing things that I wouldn't do if I would be feeling completely confident and would be thinking about it completely differently. But what if this situation, for example with me, that I interpreted silence as a possible rejection? What if it could mean something else? What if it could mean it's a possibility? It's a possibility to say something exciting. It's a possibility that someone is digesting something and someone is getting closer to you. What if I just built that kind of a rapport that someone doesn't feel the need to communicate everything, that he feels safe with me and just wants to hear what I want to say? What is the difference between these two? So there's a couple of ways how we can approach this. The first one is through a reframe. So you have the external event, you have your thought spiral because of something that happened or something that you think will happen, the anxiety, the fear, whatever it is. And then you choose a reframe. Like because you have been seeing that situation through a narrow lens and you just cannot perceive other possibilities, it's worth it to have a word with yourself and ask yourself a couple of questions. Like, what would you need to be believing in order to feel this way? In order to feel that insecure, in order to feel that angry? What is your internal representation of that sort of situation? According to this frame of reality, you actually be reacting to that situation through your internal representation. And it does make sense for me. Does it make sense for you? According to neuro-linguistic programming, there's the external event, then there is the internal representation, then there is the state what we get into through that internal representation, then we start acting, then the behavior comes, and then it gets into a result. And however we represent that situation within us, that is going to conclude to a result at the end. So the internal representation that we have inside is built up from information through our senses: touching, tasting, smelling, hearing, and seeing. And also those things are deleted, distorted, and generalized in order to protect us. You don't want to associate the same equal level of meaning to everything. That is personal. That is how you represent the reality. You focus on what is important for you. And sometimes, just sometimes, we are in love with our past identity, our problems. And that is what we focus on. And then we're going to get more of it. But if you map out reality as it has bad and good sides all the time, and when you choose to focus on something that is negative, something that is not really favorable for you, it's a choice once you notice it. So once you are aware that you're focusing on that thing, it is a choice. It's not a pattern anymore. It's not that you do unconsciously. And that's when revelation comes. And that's when you can choose that you're going to be able to focus on something else, something that you actually want. so you will feel better. So as I mentioned, you can be working on a negative memory so that it doesn't affect you in a way it used to. Only the past equals the future that hasn't been looked at. Sometimes we're not ready to look at it yet. But when the time comes, when we are ready to look at something that happened in our past and are able to reframe it, able to see it from a different angle, then our future changes. What is a negative belief in you that is influencing you and has influenced you throughout your life? Maybe it comes from a negative memory. Who knows? But if that memory is affecting you, that means you're giving power to that negative memory. And it's not only affecting you in the moment, but affecting who you are becoming, affecting your future as well. Do you really want it? So you can do many things about it, but you can reframe actually the belief that you are having. So if you know what negative belief is affecting you, what would you need to be believing in order to feel this way? That is a negative belief that comes up when you answer that question. So once you have that, you are going to be able to reframe it. And how can you reframe it? Well, you need to be breaking the pattern. First, awareness, then second is pattern break, and the third one is to install a new belief instead of that. And you might need to spend some time with it. Usually what happens is that you start stirring up the surface a little bit, start to get aware of what is the problem. And maybe you cannot even feel it. Maybe you're so far away from it. Maybe it's just like, oh, what is this? Like, oh my God, that should make me angry, but it doesn't. What's going on? Why do I have resistance towards that? Do I have a barrier here? What's going on? And that's what happened to me recently. I realized the things that I am repeating in my life. There's a joke that Jimmy Carr says as well. He's talking about past traumas, past memories, past experiences, negative memories, how you were affected. Someone was abusing you as a child, whatever it is. And then if you are carrying that with you and abusing yourself according to that memory, do you believe that you are worth that because other people did that to you? And that's why you're dealing with yourself in that way? In the rejective, in the not listening way, in the, I don't know, restrictive way of actually just not loving yourself. Whose side are you on? Are you on the side of people that didn't know what is good for you and you're handling yourself the same way? Or actually you have the power to choose how you're going to treat yourself and what is going to be your future. So that might be worth a think. So as I said, for me, it usually takes a little bit until I actually digest, when I realize something that I didn't know existed before. What would I need to be believing in order to feel this way? I get aware of the problem, sometimes weeks, in order to build up this representation of the positive experience and even to get that, why that happened and why I was seeing things in that way. But the reality is, once you get aware of what that belief is, and then you get aware of when the beliefs comes up, and then you break the pattern, you do not let it run out and control you in a way that it used to. So when you reframe it into positive belief, and when you get that emotionally, you're going to be feeling empowered in that situation that you felt powerless in. It is so powerful to do these work on you, because otherwise you're just reacting to life. You're not living it, you're not creating it. And that is what I want to be achieving with people, because I know how painful it is, even if you have someone who you love and are in a pattern, seeing things from a limited point of view, and that can cause pain for you, that can cause pain for the other person, and they're just reacting to life and causing more pain for people that they love because of their insecurities. And that is what I want to help people avoid. So what if every emotional reaction you had wasn't based on the truth? It was based on the map that someone helped you to draw. What if you had the pen now to recreate it, to reimagine what is possible? You can't always change the world, but you always can change how you react, how you communicate, and how you think about things. And because of that, the world will actually change. So what is one event that keeps replaying for you? A feeling, a thought, a situation that keeps coming up? Maybe you don't know. Comment below and I will help you to reframe it. Next week we'll explore how to rewire your identity using NLP's logical levels. See you next time.